Hi, beautiful friends of YouTube. My name is Cam. I am a yoga teacher and a woman's guide to support with cycle syncing, womanhood, yoga, of course. And on this channel, I talk about lifestyle stuff as well. Today, we're going into a subject that is foundational to a woman's life and is foundational to my work: cycle syncing. This will be a short introduction to understanding the 4 phases of your cycle. First phase of your cycle is your bleed. As interesting as that may sound, because if you're anything like me, I thought my bleed was like the finale. However, the bleed is a signal of releasing, and in that releasing, you are completely done with the previous cycle. The bleed is a time most women are familiar with because it's the one that impacts us the most. And this is about rest. This is your winter phase. This is the time for warm foods, rest, like moving your body less. It is also the time where we are so spiritually alive. So it can be a wonderful time to do some journaling, even do some ritual. If you're into that, prayer, we can be just deeply in tune, and I like to think of it as like the veil being very thin of the human and the spirit. Your second phase is your follicular phase. The follicular phase actually starts when you bleed. That's why often women feel like a huge pressure release once they finally start to bleed. It's because you're in your follicular phase. It is the beginning, it's your spring. However, once follicular really comes in, you get to feel even more energy coming back to you. I like to call this your flirty follicular because we're flirting with life, we're flirting with new ideas, as well as people. So this can be a great time to start new projects, to get back into movement. So I love doing cardio during my follicular phase, just like I have a lot more energy going. The third phase is one that you might also know. It's your ovulation. So this is still that follicular flirty vibe, but everything slows down and gets a bit more concentrated. So think lovemaking, think projects, think being in front of a camera. It's the time where you are your most radiant, your body is the most resilient. This can be a great time to do some fasting if you're into that. Try harder workouts like HIIT, higher intensity. Those things that you're like, wow, I need to be superwoman to do it then. This window is about 2 to 3 days, depending on the woman. And it's likely you'll feel the most flirty and playful and sexy during that time. So keep that in mind. Your fourth phase is one that probably impacts you, but maybe you haven't had the right support for it. So this is your fall, your autumn, and it's your luteal phase. This is the longest phase in a woman's cycle. It's about 2 weeks, and it is where we get a little PMS, so they say. It's natural for things to start slowing down, so you kind of ride the roller coaster of ovulation back down and land in a bit more slow, more yin, more internal space. The luteal gets a bad rep because we're often more moody, more temperamental, more serious, and honestly more truthful. So this can be a time to set some boundaries, to really clear and shed things that are not serving. I find during my luteal, I end up cleaning everything. Like my whole house gets cleaned, all the admin stuff gets cleaned up and organized. It's just natural. So if you feel those impulses, trust them. Also, we need the most sleep during luteal. So naps, at least 8 hours of sleep if you can manage, is really great during this time. And then after that, you cycle back and you're bleeding again. So these are your 4 phases. This is a very, very small introduction to these phases. I will soon do a video on each phase, just breaking it down a bit, giving some tips for each phase. I also created a free cycle sync guide that goes really deep to each of this. It's completely free. You can download it. I'll put the link below. Honestly, this stuff is foundational to being a woman who's in harmony and in tune with her own rhythms. I don't know how many women I've spoke to that are like, wow, like, how did I go so long without understanding these things? Because it's truly transformative, and it goes well beyond the surface level understanding. This is also a way where you get to be more in tune with you. Every woman is different. Every month is different based on the life we have each month. So the beauty of cycle syncing is it's an invitation to be more in tune with your body, to be asking, okay, wow, all right, my energy just dropped. Oh yeah, perfect. I just ovulated a few days ago. That means the roller coaster is starting to come down and I get to start resting more, to being very, very gentle with myself. And vice versa. So it works in the same way. When you notice, okay, I just bled, and then suddenly the bleed stops and there's like, woo, there's this riding up the roller coaster. You get to add those more tasks on to your week if that feels good. Plan in some social events, some dates, because we're the most yang during this time. So we're out in the world, we're interested in people, interested in creative projects. Yeah, this is so fun. It's so fun how women are literally cycling through the seasons every month. If this interests you and you want to hear more, or if you have a story you want to share about your own cycle and the relationship to it, please share below. As always, like and subscribe this video. That helps this get out to more women in the world, and men, because we all get to be educated on this. Okay, that's all for today. I'll see you in the next video.